this way. When I go up to my knees again, if he puts this hand, if he raises this hand to push me away with this hand, I can also let go of the belt, bring this hand around, trapping his arm, grabbing my own collar, way up, thumb inside, and this hand on his elbow to prevent him from rotating the arm. The idea is to bring it outward so that he can't just rotate the arm. If I put like this, he could just bend the arm and peel out. But if you fold, if you hold the elbow and roll this arm out, his hand is on the collar, pull his arm out, and then you can bring it inwards, bring his arm towards you by pushing it inwards with the blade of the arm. From here, secure the arm, bring the other hand in, force the arm inwards, bringing it this way. So from here, grab the collar, hand on the belt, jump up. Hand is up, grab the collar, control the elbow, and then curve inwards, forward. Grab the belt, other hand on the collar. Hop up, he's got the hand straight, arm straight this way. Control the arm, bring the second hand in, and bend forward. Hand on the collar, grab the belt, push off him, stand up. Arm is sticking up, trap the arm with this, second hand comes in, bend the arm inwards. Let us see one more move so that when you have your knee on your stomach, you can give him a hard time one more time. From this position here, once again, I grab the belt, reach for the collar, push off him, put my knee here. When he puts the hand on the knee like this, you can also bring your hand on the inside, bringing his elbow up, stepping over the leg, pressing the knee on his stomach, and going right for the arm lock. Once again. So from here, hold the belt with one hand, the other hand with the thumb inside the collar. Push off him, find yourself in base here. As he brings the hand, you can either go for that arm lock this way that we talked about, or you can bring your hand on the inside, raising his arm. From here, step over the leg, spin around, and you got the arm right here for the arm lock. So from this position, grab the collar with the thumb inside, second hand on the belt. Hop up, put your knee on the stomach. Bring the hand inside, raise his arm, step over the head, spin around, and when you sit back, you have the arm right here. Keep your legs together, snug. So from here, grab the collar, hand on the belt. Hop up, knee on the stomach. He pushes the hand on the knee, bring your hand on the inside, raise his arm, step over the leg, over the head, and as you sit back, you have the arm right here. One last time here. From this position then, grab the belt, hand on the collar. Hop up, bring your hand inside of the arm, step over, spin back, and you keep your knees together, hold the wrist, and raise your hip. Okay, so these are some of the techniques that you have when you are on top, some suggestions that you can do on the attack when you're on top of the person. If you find yourself on the bottom with your opponent on top of you, what? If you find yourself with your opponent on top of you like this, and you're now on the bottom, on the cross-mount position, on the bottom end of it, The first thing you want to do is get the person from this almost mounted position into your guard, which is the safest position to be if you have to be on the bottom. So he's across the side. I want to bring my hand under the arm like this, and the second hand wedging my elbow on this hip right here. From this position, you want to scoot your hip away, bring your knee underneath him, and put him on your guard. Let me do this by myself first, one time. So if I'm here, and you have the opponent laying across, put your arm under his arm, this elbow, the arm braces his hip. Once again, flatten your leg, put your foot on the ground so that you can scoot your hip away. Be sure you raise your hip off the ground a little bit so that you can scoot your hip away. Hold him away with your arm, with the frame of the arm, and bring this knee through, bringing him back inside of the legs. So from this position here, he's laying across, his legs are on this side. I'm going to wedge this hip with my arm, bring this hand under his arm, scoot my hip away, bring the knee through, and then cross your legs behind his back. When you start bringing your knee underneath the person's body, more often than not, this leg is going to get stuck inside of his legs. If you keep trying to bring the leg out, you're going to get stuck. So the trick at this point, as soon as you bring your knee as far as much as you can, put this foot on the ground and use this foot to scoot your hip away. So it kind of feels like this. You wedge your opponent with the elbow, scoot your hip away, bring your knee through as much as you can. You can only go so much with that knee. Now plant your foot on the ground, and using this foot, scoot your hip back away so that you can put him in your guard like this. Twice, one more time, please, on this side. So from here, bring your hand under his arm. The other hand is wedging the elbow. Scoot your hip away. Bring your knee through here. See, I can only go this much. You're going to find yourself stuck with this. If you want to help with this leg, to hold his leg back, to give a little more movement, is fine. But ultimately, this foot here on this side has to rest on the ground so that I can plant my foot and then move my body away to end up with him inside of my legs in the guard. Another situation that might occur is when you're having a person across the side. He then turns his body sideways, puts the top leg back to prevent himself from falling back. If I lift my hip up, he braces himself with this leg, and then he swings the foot over to this side. The plan is to go up from here and goes to the mounted position. That's his objective. Across the side, please, hoist. What happens is, this is the leg protecting him from falling back. At the moment that this leg comes over here and steps on this side, his body weight is still on this side. So if I lift my hip up and roll him back, I will be able to throw him backwards because his weight will be off balance, easily to be taken backwards. That's the position. He's sideways with the top leg holding him back. The trick here is your sensitivity to feel his body weight remains on this side, even though his leg swings over to this side. So just the leg moves over, the same leg that was bracing him from falling back. So as soon as this leg travels over and touches the ground, there's nothing protecting him from falling back. That's the moment that you lift your hip up. Once again, hoist, please. If when the leg raises from the ground and is halfway up, and you lift your hip up, now he has time to back up with that leg and brace himself. Timing is of the essence, because when you bring your leg over here, hoist, when he touches the ground, that's the time to lift your hip up. If you do it too soon, he has time to step back with that leg. So the trick is waiting for the leg to touch the other side, and then you lift your hip up and roll him back. Let's do this from the other side, hoist, please. So here, I can see his leg right here, hand around the waist, both feet on the ground, and as he steps over, time to lift your hip up and roll him back. One last time on this side, please. Again, if you do it too soon, raise your leg, Royce. He has time to go back and brace himself with that leg. The trick is to bring this leg over there, and only when he touches the ground, you have to raise your hip and roll it back. Back up, Royce, please. If you wait too long, step over, Royce. He mounts, and now the lifting of the hip is not going to work. If he raises the hip off the ground, it doesn't work. So the timing in here, leg up, Royce, is to lift your hip and roll it back. Okay. 1 second, let me do it by myself, please. So from this position, the hand is under his arm, the other hand is holding his waist, both feet on the ground. As soon as I feel his foot lift on the ground, if I do now, he's got time to back up the foot. If I wait for his foot to touch the ground here, he doesn't have time to come back with the leg before I can roll him back. So only when the foot goes over and touches the ground, that's when you raise your hip and roll him over. So from here, the other situation is, instead of having the top leg back this way, instead of having the leg this way, your opponent now shifts the position of the legs. He keeps the bottom leg straight and the top leg kind of tucked in next to me. By having the top leg tucked in here, I can't lift my hip and roll him back anymore because this leg is now bracing him. With this leg now bracing him, it makes it impossible for the person on top to just swing the top leg over. He can't keep one leg straight and step over with the other leg. He now is forced to slide the knee gradually over my stomach. It's a different way of accomplishing the same position to get into the mounted position. And because he's shifting his balance to be able to slide the knee gradually over my stomach, and I can't just roll him back, I'm going to use an option, which is to use my elbow to lift his leg up. As soon as he puts the weight over to this side, the back side gets very light. See how light his leg feels getting off the ground here. By lifting the leg up, I can now bring my leg under his leg, catch the leg, put my hand here on the shoulder, scoot your hip away, bring your knee out, and then cross your legs behind his back. One more time, please, boys. So the trick is to use this elbow close to his knee, right here under his knee. In this case, I recommend that you keep one leg flat, because if you keep both legs up, you're going to take more time to bring the leg down underneath him. As soon as you see this leg straight, this leg should be flat, because you know he's going to have to slide the knee over the stomach, and this facilitates or saves time as he brings the knee over, Hoist, please, over my stomach. My leg is already coming underneath him. As soon as he throws the weight over, it's easier. Put your legs closer to the objective, which is to go under his leg. Trap his foot, scoot your hip away. Once again, by lifting my hip off the ground, it makes it a lot easier for me to bring my knee through, my hip away. I then bring the knee through on this side and cross the legs. So from this position, once again, please, same thing. He's sliding the knee, I keep my leg flat. As I do this, he keeps bringing the weight over. I lift his leg up, bring my knee under, catch the leg. If I don't trap his leg, it's easy for him to just go over and mount the leg over here. He can do this and establish the mounted position. So it's important when you get your leg out, you secure the position by controlling his leg. The hands now will work on bracing his knee so that you can scoot your hip away and bring your knee out. Sometimes you might find this leg trapped in here, making it difficult to get your leg out. I recommend that you put your weight on this leg, transfer your weight to this foot, so that you can swivel your hip this way, making it easier for you to get your leg out, and then cross your legs behind his back. The other side, please. So that's the move. From here, my elbow, because the leg is straight, my elbow is tucked in here, right underneath his leg. Leg flat on this side. As he slides the knee over, I feel his weight shifting over. Lift the back leg, catch the knee. Scoot my hip away, Don't just try to bring this leg over, because more often than not, your foot's gonna get stuck. Put your foot on the ground here, swivel your hip back this way, and then cross your legs behind his back. And the other one's right here, right? Top legs, the bottom leg is straight, the top knee goes on my stomach, hand is under his arm. Once again, the trick is if I try to dig in the leg and lift him up now, it feels too heavy, I'm gonna get stuck. The moment is when his weight shifts over. That's when the leg feels light on this side. That's the trick, that's what makes it easier for you. Lift the leg up, catch the knee,